as you have released Sturkin's neck and he gasps in this breath of air, kind of rising up onto his feet so he's at least on somewhat level ground with you. He's, rubbing at his neck where you had held him, and he's looking at you with narrowed eyes from beneath this mess of black hair on the top of his head. And he'll just say, God, didn't think I'd see all of you again.
Yeah? Did you think that that we were just gonna, take the whole wanted thing lying down, that we weren't actually gonna do something about it, and you would actually get away with it?
Honestly, thought y'all would end up dead.
Yeah. Well, that was your first mistake. So, if we're gonna, and they'll hold up like both hands and like do like the quote unquote gesture. If we're really gonna die, what was it, Sirkin? Was it gold? Was it just greed? Do you have some vendetta against the royal family? What is it? What was all of this for? What was so worth it that you thought this was a grand idea?
And he just scoffs and scowls at you as he just says, as if I have to explain myself to you. What does it matter?
Well, I mean, you went through all this trouble acquiring poison, plotting, deaths, trying to, thinking, setting up a whole ploy to pull in adventurers to join you on this. That's a lot for something like this. So really, tell me, I am genuinely curious.
I've got my reasons. You don't need to know them.
I think I have a pretty good idea. And sort of through gritted teeth, he continues from where he left off with Gwen. Now that after the shock of, oh man, that's Starkin over there. But he goes on to say, all right, Gwen, you'll get your justice. But before then, I need to know. Did you work alone? Who else is involved? Because I need to make sure I worm all of this corruption out of my guild.
And Gwen just quickly shakes his head. No, Tappy, really, it was me. Don't worry about the rest of the Bad Luck Guild. I'm sorry. I needed the money. It's hard being just an informant out here in Drake Mound. I got no other job, and the money was good.
Then you should have asked for help, not start a war. I'm gonna roll an insight to make sure he's telling me the truth real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll.
Insight. Oh baby, I'm gonna just suck this up. Here we go. Oh.
Oh,
boy. You know all.
Yeah, you have kind of the upper hand here, or at least you feel like you do. You're very angry, you're frustrated with this guy, and you're staring him down, and it's almost to the point where his fear is almost palpable in the air. And as he speaks and insists that he was alone, that he did it for the money, you can't see a trace of a lie on this guy. He is absolutely telling you the truth.
Okay. So Taffy kind of actually, after he studies, squints his eyes, his pupils are full on cat mode. He stares into this dude's very soul. But after he sees this, Gwen stumble over his words, trying to just in the raw, fearful state he's in, he's telling the truth. He can't detect any lies, and he kind of sighs, almost as if he just this weight that was on him has evaporated. Whatever, something that he was deathly afraid of is now gone. And he's like, all right, that's good. At least we don't have to worry about more of you. But, mark my words, Gwen, you are going to fix this. You're going to repay for every ounce of blood you helped spill. Do you understand?
Yeah, sure. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was just trying to get back to Abidos to see Lee, and yeah.
Who's Lee?
And he kind of seems a little nervous to answer that question. He says, "This guy I was seeing while I was in Abidos before I got sent out here. I love him, okay? And I just wanted to get back to see him, and it's been almost a year."
So his tail kind of flicks around. His grip softens slightly, and he continues on. All right. Here's what's going to happen, Gwen. You're going to do exactly what I say. You're going to do exactly when I say it. And so help me, to Neferu's smiting lightning, if you so much as step a foot out of line, I will put you into the dirt myself. Do you understand me?
He nods his head very vigorously. Yeah, of course, Taffy, of course.
What's going on here has spiraled so far out of control. And we're going to do what we can to fix it. Do you understand? And when I say we, I mean we.
Yes, yeah, I will. I'll help. Okay, I'll help.
And he once again, and then he pushes him back up against the wall, and he grabs the scruff of his neck just to hammer it home. And he's like, "I'm not joking around here, Gwen. If you try to run, if you try and sell us out, if you stab us in the back, if you do anything that puts me or my companions at any type of danger, I will hunt you down, and I will kill you."
And he's got like his hands up and everything. You can see at this point Gwen is like trembling a little bit as he says, Please, Taffy, okay, I will do whatever you want. All right, I will help you and your friends. All right, I just want to get back to Abidos. I'm sorry. I never meant for it to get this bad."
Fine. Just remember, your every breath from this moment on, for every second you are alive, is a gift from me, is a mercy granted by me. Do not forget this. And he kind of pushes off of him, and just kind of backs up, back into the cell. Lets a long breath.
I understand that there's always two stories. The one that we want everyone else to see, and the one that we keep close. So I really want to give you one more chance to at least explain your story in this grand scheme of things. Is this really what you want to be known as? Don't you want someone to understand why you did what you did?
And he just looks at you, continuing to just have this furrowed brow, as his eyes like pierce into yours almost, and he'll just say, "You know what? Maybe I want to be known as the bad guy. What does it matter whether you know my story or not? We're all about to be dead. What, will it put your soul at ease in the afterlife, kid?"
Oh, it's not my soul I'm really concerned with.
This dude is not helping his case, man.
But if you really, really just want to be known as the bad guy, then how about I give you a taste of what you might actually deserve? And she kind of takes a breath, and you just hear in a sing-song voice, "No more running." And she is going to cast Phantasmal Force on him.
You see his eyes suddenly widen as he's looking at you. The anger and frustration gone from his face, replaced now with uncertainty and fear and terror. as his face begins to turn this pale white color, and he just lets out this sudden, almost blood-curdling scream as he backs away from you and presses himself into a corner of the cell, like scrabbling at the walls as if trying to find some way to get away from you or whatever it is you have conjured for him to see. Even you're not sure exactly what he's seeing, other than it's terrifying to him in this moment. But you continue singing. You keep up the spell as you stare him down. In the adjacent cell, Narcellus, as soon as you hear Yulia's voice, and as you hear Sturkin begin screaming and shouting, you see to your side Runarian immediately tenses up.
Oh.
And he gets this very distant look in his eyes, as if he's suddenly not here.
He's having flashbacks.
So, Narcellus, his whole body kind of tenses up. Because there's... With the sing-songy, cloying sweetness, I'm assuming that's in Yulia's voice. I don't want to God mode here, Yulia.
No, it's about what Starion described. It turns into something.
I mean, like, what is the emotion in their voice?
It's very haunting, and it's kind of more somber. Like she's not happy about doing this. This is very much a almost cathartic moment for her of letting out emotion. So it sounds somber. She's usually no more to sing high pitch. This is like in a deeper tone.
So his body kind of tenses up, and he'll look over towards that cell for a really long moment, and like his eyes, which were previously kind of just trained on whoever happened to be in the cell at the moment, mainly on Taffy with Gwen, go wide. And the shrieking coming from Sturkin has him running his hands up through his hair, and he'll turn towards Ari and look at him, and knowing the history between Ari and his sister, he will reach out very suddenly and grab Ari by like his head and press the palms of his hands over Ari's ears and kind of pull him down a little bit.
Aww.
And as you do this, Ari like blinks and seems to kind of focus in on you. And it's hard to read the expression on his face, but you see he reaches his own hands up and does the same to you as he rests his hands over your own ears, as he seems to be able to tell that you, Narcellus, are also kind of struggling at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't say anything for right now.
Narcellus just kind of, I will say, mouths like the words, like, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Are you doing that? Is he okay?
Julia isn't responding because she is holding
Singing.
focus on because it's two parts. Like she's very much improvising this song right now, so she's just kind of letting. It's almost like stream of consciousness a little bit at the same time, like kind of just throwing out lines and also maintaining focus on this imagery that she's making him see.
Narcellus kind of pulls Ari closer. He's going to whip his head toward the other cell, and he will yell, "Stop it!"
And she stops. That snaps her out, and she kind of jerks back like she got slapped in the face.
Sturkin quiets, still looking scared, confused, and looking nervously around, his gaze flicking every which way as he just kind of cowers there in the corner of the cell.
Are you sure you want to be remembered as the bad guy now? Because if you really plan on dying here, that is what you can expect on the other side. The vengeance of every person you have fucked over with this scheme.
You see that he, mixed in with the fear, is this look of upset. As his face is red from screaming, his eyes looking almost bloodshot. And you just hear him in this very kind of broken voice will just say, I just saw my son.
What?
He was only 8 when those trout came.
God damn it.
Ah.
Oh.
See? Y'all are,
This is
you're-
why we
you're
don't
very-
torture people.
Was it really worth creating that same scenario for more people? For more parents to lose their children? For parents to lose their children in another war? Is it really worth it?
And that fear on his face kind of turns back into this look of anger as he grits his teeth, and he'll say, you don't understand what it's like to lose your son and my wife. So you know what? Yeah, it was worth it. Getting back at the damn drow that took my family from me. If this world burns because of it, so be it. You lower your hands down from Ari's ears. He doesn't move at the moment. But he just has his hands, like, kind of on your shoulders. With, like, his face kind of buried into one at the moment. And you'll just kind of hear him just quietly say, like, quietly apologize.
Taffy.
Taffy spins around and then kind of swiftly moves over to the gate to look into the other cell.
Kind of pat one of your pockets. You reach in the other one, and you feel there's something round in there, and you pull it out. And sure enough, it is your little glass bottle with the little gelatinous cube in it. You see, at this point, it's kind of reformed into like its cube shape. It's not big enough to take up the entire bottle, but it's just kind of wiggling around in there as you pull it out of your pocket.
He can't help himself. He just has the stupidest grin just creep across his face as he just holds and slightly shakes it, wiggles it in his fingers as he shows it to Marcellus.
Oh, Puddin's okay. Okay, good.
Oh my god.
Any chance you could find something in your cell to like slosh it around and get a little bit of it again to put in the lock?
Absolutely.
I can't believe I remembered this stupid gelatinous cube named Pudding.
Because Pudding's the best. I love Pudding.
If I polymorph Ari, he may be able to get outside, but that doesn't really do much for us on the inside, and God knows how long Pudding's going to take to melt through a lock. So, what if, and hear me out, you, little goblin, this is going to be a really scary question for me to ask you, but I need you to come here. I need you to kind of like squats down to his level.
Okay. Breck is going to take a tentative step back as Nershell squats in front of him.
I'm not going to eat you.
That wasn't my concern.
Hear me out. Rush, you can hide in my shadow, right?
And Resh will just give a nod. Of course.
So, Taffy, what if I polymorph Ari out of here? You guys try to melt the lock. But we still have to take care of the guards that are on every, like, he's saying this quietly. He's like, we still have to take care of the guards at the other end of this hallway. So what if Rush hides in my shadow? And then, because Mr. Faldvin here is the star of the apparent coronation, what if the goblin and I cause a scene by beating him up?
Okay. And then if we can get the lock open, then can jump the guards?
Yes, Rush can come out and, I don't know, do a little stabby stab.
Taffy tenses up a
mean-
little bit, but he doesn't object to the stabby stab. He looks a little uncomfortable with it, but he's not gonna object at this point.
I'm down.
You're okay with beating up an elf, General?
General Faldvin, is it?
It's just Faldvin now, not General, but that's fine. Little surprised his screaming didn't grab the guard's attention.
Right. Well, Mr. General Faldvin, sir, if there's no other... if there's
My name is Freck, by the way. My name's Freck. If we're going to be beating your friend up here, might as well introduce myself.
Oh, he's not my friend, but it's a long... the story...
It's a long story.
I mean,
I guess.
First of all, what are we even going to do? How are we going to get Faldvin out of here? Like, what, are we just going to walk out of the town, or are we going to swim for it?
I may have a little solution to your problems if you help me out.
We're helping you out. Yes, we're going to get out of here.
I have a companion. My companion and I have a boat of sorts. And I'm sure that my companion will be very happy of me being out of jail and will take you anywhere you need outside of Valgard on our beautiful ship.
So you guys will have no problem with, say, 7 of us and Mr. Lord General Faldvin, sir, getting on this boat.
Cool.
Yeah, no problem at all.
So you will hear him kind of utter this incantation in deep drow and wave his hands in a strange but kind of intricate pattern toward Ari. And he's going to try to turn him into a butterfly. He'll walk over to the bars and just kind of slip his hand through and just say, it would probably be a really good idea for you to go either find Nyalkish or Arca.
And he kind of flutters his wings a little. And after a moment, he takes off out of your hand and begins to just flutter his way down the hallway. So,
Taffy?
Yeah.
How about you get swirling on pudding?
Got it. All right. He's like, he holds the little vial up. He's like, all right, buddy, it's your time to shine. Don't worry. No pressure. We got this. Don't worry, pudding. We got this. As he's like looking around for some organic stuff to get him a little bit bigger, and also just sort of transfer some of him into the lock.
Yeah, and you kind of look around the ground, and you do find a couple of sticks. The first couple you find are a little too big to fit in the bottle, but another one you find is small enough that even as you stick it into the bottle, you've still got enough room to like move it around. And
Perfect.
Yeah, and then that's what you do is you uncork the bottle, you stick the stick in, and just start like whisking it around vigorously.
We gotta wake him up, or we gotta get him energized. I'm cooking up something over here.
Go, put it.
And yeah, soon enough, the once cube-like shape of pudding is reduced to just like this just ooze that's just like slushing around in the bottle.
Perfect. Okay. Now I don't want to take all of them out. I just want to take enough of them out. I sort of make like a trail of like sticks and leaves. I hold up the vial next to the lock, and I kind of stuff some like leaves and like other organic refuse into the lock. And then I kind of stick a stick in there, and then I to bridge the gap, between pudding and the lock. See if he'll work his way up there.
And Yulia will quietly kind of like stand up and like reach over and help stabilize this little funnel you're making. As carefully without touching this pudding as much as possible.
That could be good.
Yeah. So you kind of shove whatever you can into and around the lock for pudding to, I guess cling onto to get it onto the lock. And you tip the vial, and you tip the vial enough that just a little bit of him starts to come out, and you at least still manage to save a little bit still left in this vial. And as this gel makes contact with one of the sticks that's sticking out of the lock, you and Yulia both immediately hear as it seems to almost wrap around this stick, and you watch as it begins to slowly eat away at it through like the outer thin layer of bark and then into the wood beneath it. And this process is going to be slow, but it's almost kind of fascinating to watch this goop just slowly work its way down through the materials you've laid out, and almost seeming to grow just a tiny bit bigger as it goes.
Where the heck did you find this?
Oh yeah, we found it in the Underdark when we were delving in that dungeon. Isn't he the best? Pudding's great.
Pudding's fantastic.
I can't believe you named it too.
Well, it's actually one of two. We didn't name the second one yet.
Oh, I see.
The idea is to start multiplying them with like sticks, and then we name them so they're cute, and then we sell them.
Oh,
I'm not sure I understand, but you know what? Nothing makes sense at this moment. I will just accept this statement.
Accept the pudding.
y'all are just an interesting bunch of people. Oh, well, it's a pleasure to meet you all. Can't wait to get to know you over a drink when we actually get the hell out of this.
I'm just curious. Why are you in here?
I'm a goblin.
I understand you on a spiritual level.
Yeah, I stepped off of the boat. They saw a goblin and they were like, nah, good try.
Yeah, you pick Vrek up as you see Resh kind of seems to vanish from sight into the shadows, presumably into your shadow, Michellis.
You want me to throw you?
Sure, why don't you throw me? Throw me right into the general's face over there. Vrek has like this really big smile on his face that he managed to knock down Fulton.
Real quick, I want Narcellus to use prestidigitation twice. First, to cover the floor with blood underneath Faldvin and Vrek, and then to simultaneously cover Vrek, like their hands and Faldvin's face with like splotches of this blood.
Yeah, absolutely. I will allow that. As you try to make this look as believable as possible. And as you do so, Fulvin kind of seems to catch on to the idea, and you hear him immediately begin to shout, guards, come quick, this goblin is beating me up! And you eventually do hear the clinking and clacking of like boots on the stone floor as the guards in the hallway begin to approach. And at that time, across
boy.
the city,
On the
All
other
right, here
side
we
of
go.
chaoticry.
you see there's a round table in the room fairly near the door that he'll motion for you all to sit at as he locks the door behind you, and he'll come to join you. And you see he's got this a few papers kind of stacked up haphazardly on the table with a quill and ink, and he will kind of quickly grab it all and begin to kind of make it a little more organized as he looks over the four of you. And he'll focus on you, Arca, as he'll say, so, what is it that brings you back here, Arca? I mean, you and all of your friends are still wanted.
We heard a bit of what's going on here in Valgard, and most notably that General Faldvin was due to be executed. So we came back to save him.
Save him? I mean, I'll admit the old general's got a number of allies still in the city. I know a lot of the military still support him, but he's currently being held under the castle. There's no way you're going to get inside. It's a fool's mission.
Under the castle, so that's gonna be tough indeed, but we have to try.
Yeah, and he'll kind of look from you to the other three around the table, looking a little confused, as he'll say, I don't remember everyone else before, new friends of yours.
Well, this is Nyelkish, as Arca gestures towards Nia right there, little dragonborn girl. Well, actually, no, she's taller than him.
She is, but it's fine. But as soon as you say her name, his eyes go wide as he instantly goes to kneel, gets out of his seat and goes to kneel to her, and Nyelkish immediately reaches out and says, please don't, I appreciate it, and she'll rest a gentle hand on his shoulder and help him back up onto his feet. She'll say, just call me Nia. I know it's maybe a little strange, but it's best that we keep our identities to ourselves. And Robert will just kind of nod and say, as you say, you're Nia. That's weird. Sorry. Okay, who are the other two?
Well, there's this guy, Captain Mr. Riven, and Arca kind of jerks a thumb towards the half-triton, and he says, I honestly just encountered him, but I figure I'm going to need some allies here. And he seems to piss off the guards, so you know what? Good enough for me.
And I'll sort of give a little wave of my fingers at Rob and say, I'm new in town, so haven't seen you around before, but nice to meet you.
Pleasure. Name's Robert. Call me Rob if you want. Bob. Some people do. Down in the dungeons, in the belly of this building, Vrek and Narcellis, you two are in the midst of quote-unquote beating up Faldvin.
I love that.
Making it look as convincing as possible.
He might
with the help-
actually be pulling a few strands of hair just for good riddance.
Oh god. Oh.
Yeah.
What did you say about my mother? Say it again.
Yeah, you don't talk about his mother that way.
Okay. Faldvin, well, yeah, I meant it. And whatever the hell he's shouting.
He's really bad at this.
Yeah, he is. And eventually, you hear the clicking of metal shoes, or probably just leather, whatever. Shoes upon the ground. As eventually, about 2 guards come up to the cell doors. One of them holding like a pike in one hand, and the other, like, you can see a sword kind of strapped to his side. And one of them will say, hey, now, cut it out in there. And you'll see him starting to...
He said something about my mother.
You'll see the one with the sword is like a human guy, probably in his like late 30s, early 40s. He's got like short brown hair, speckled with like little pieces of gray. Starts like fumbling for his keys, like, all right, I'm gonna come in there, and starts to try and find the one that'll unlock your cell door.
Marcellus just kind of leans back and like hooks his arm under Faldvin's throat and just says, "Oh no, the little guard's gonna come in and try to hurt me. I'm so scared."
Oh, my
And that seems to really rile them up, as eventually he fumbles with the key for a few minutes and manages to push the cell door open. And he steps in, withdrawing his blade in one hand, as the both of them begin to walk over to the 2 of you. Or 3 of you, I guess I should say.
At this moment, I would like to release Faldvin and press myself up against the wall and just go, okay, Faldvin, if you could actually do something, this would be great. I don't want to get stabbed.
Taffy's whispering, "Come on, Puddin', come on."
Mom Pudding.
Come on, Pudding. You can do it.
Vrek, do you do anything as the guards come in?
Oh, Frank immediately hops off of Faldvin's chest and just joins Narcellis, like full on T-posing against this wall with his hand. Goes, hey, no trouble here, no trouble here. I forgive you for saying that thing about my mother. All right, no bad blood.
And the one with the sword, like, comes up to the 2 of you, kind of holding it out at you to keep you up against the wall. As the other, you see, goes over to Faldvin and, like, helps him back up onto his feet. And, let's see here. Oh, why did it roll it like that? Oh, that's not the right sheet.
Well, goodbye.
Goodbye.
It was really nice knowing all of you.
Oh, no, I only redo. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Oh,
Bye.
bye.
And you see, as the other one helps Faldvin up onto his feet, the elf immediately then makes a grab for the pike that the guard is holding in his hand, but apparently doesn't seem to have the strength. Let me get rid of that. As the guard keeps like a firm hold on it, and it's immediately like, hey, cut it out. And at that moment as well,
Actually, real quick, before he kills both of them, Jesus.
yeah.
Oh.
I want Narcellis to cast something.
Okay, what would you
I
like to
finally
cast?
have a reason to cast the spell.
Oh no.
Mhm. Okay.
I like that.
How are you casting it? Or I guess also who are you casting it at, I guess.
The guard
Ignore
closest
that.
to him. Oh, do what?
Oh, ignore what I just posted in
Oh.
chat. You did not see that.
So the guard closest to him, he's going to look up at him and just sort of, he'll see his hand move, not subtle at all, and he'll say, "Hey, now you don't want to attack us. You want to help us get out of this dungeon." And do I need to roll anything, or is it just your wisdom save?
I think it's just the wisdom save, yeah. Let's see.
He's super smart.
Oh.
God.
We have a pet guard.
We do now!
You have a what?
It was nice knowing everybody.
God. Yeah, so you say this to the guard, and he immediately begins to lower his sword. Looks a little confused at first, but then is like, yeah, I'm trying to help you out of here. Yeah.
Exactly.
And, he'll turn back to, the other guard who's still wrestling with Faldvin at the moment over the pike that he's carrying. And he'll say, hey, cut it out there. We're supposed to be helping these guys out. And the other one looks at him incredulously like, I'm sorry? And at that moment, you see they suddenly, like, cry out in pain as from behind them the shadow had formed and quickly took the form of Resh, holding both of his scimitars in hand. And with one swift swipe of each scimitar, the guard crumples to the ground, just about dead. And Resh will kind of look from them up to Narcellis and Vrek and just say, Alright, are we going, I suppose?
Yeah, so
Hey,
Mr. Guard Guy, would you mind doing the other door?
Yeah, I got it. And he'll go wander back out into the hallway to the adjacent cell where Taffy, Yulia, Gwen, and Sturkin are, and
Hide the pudding, hide the pudding.
Puddin's still there, still like eating away at the lock. He's worked through most of the organic material and is starting to sizzle now on the lock itself. And you'll see the guard kind of takes a moment, rifles through the keys he's got, and sticks it right in, not even minding that Puddin's there and that it probably begins to start eating the key. But after a moment, you hear the click of the lock, and your cell door swings open.
Oh, dang. Well, that worked better than we thought. By the way, do I still have a little bit of pudding left in that vial?
You do. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool,
you
cool.
do still have some left.
Okay. All right, buddy. He's gonna kind of lean over and talk to Puddin'. All right, you gonna hold us. You're gonna cover our rear. All right. Just be free and do what you do. All right, buddy.
There's just gonna be a gelatinous cube down in this dungeon. Fantastic.
It's Puddin',
This is
Puddin',
fantastic.
Puddin', it's your dungeon now. You can do whatever you want.
hey, listen, Valgard was a shithole anyway. We don't really need the city.
Oh, sorry, I realized I never switched back over to this. Apologies.
No, you're good.
You are king of the castle. Enjoy it, Puddin'.
Enjoy it, Puddin'.
So, little goblin, once we're out, what exactly are we going to be doing?
Oh, well, first things first, we gotta find my associate. The one that me and him have a boat. We We gotta go find him.
Yeah, I'm assuming we're getting on the boat.
I mean, yeah. Hopefully.
Is the boat the only thing you have? Like, can there maybe be something that we do, like going by land?
It might be harder for them to chase us over the water, Norcellus. I know it's
I know, but I'm just saying, like, what if there's a way to fly?
Yeah, I'm not in a particular mood to go by air travel at this exact moment of time.
Well,
It's
we could always go under again. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Kid, great idea. I just have no intention of going down in the Underdark. No offense.
Untaken.
all right. Well, if we need to
You
get
just
moving.
gotta get your sea legs in, kid. You gotta get your sea legs in.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Anyway, Fulton, you will have to come with us.
Baldwin nods as he seems to have picked up the pike from the guard that's now dead on the ground and says, yeah, of course. Coming.
Problem.
Getting out of here.
No. Hey, Rush.
Hmm.
Give me your cloak.
Rush looks kind of confusedly at you, but he'll oblige and take off his cloak and hand it out to you.
He will then kind of shake it out and hold it over to Fulton, and at the same time pull off his mask and hand that over as well, and just be like, "Sorry, man, you're gonna be a shark eye today."
All right, and he kind of laughs a little bit, but he'll take what you give him, the cloak and the mask, and he'll put the cloak on, which, considering he and Resh are about the same build, fits just fine, and slips the mask on over his face as he'll just kind of lift the hood up to cover the rest of him.
Awesome, you almost passed.
Fantastic. Though there is the problem of getting out of here.
Oh, that's what my buddy here's for, isn't that right, Mr. Guard?
Yeah, of course. I'll get you guys. Where are we going?
We're going to the... Oh, we gotta go find Ark. We're looking for a bird and this goblin's friend in the city somewhere. A big bird, like a person-sized bird.
We should also probably find our stuff also.
We would love to get our stuff. That's true.
Yeah. I can. I'll go get your stuff, and then.
Mr. Guard, what's your name?
Oh, hold on 1 second.
Bill.
Just the guard. Ronald.
My name is Henry.
I hate you.
My name's Henry.
Alright. And at that, he'll just kind of step outside of the cell and wait.
And, you step outside, followed soon after by the guard, Faldvin, and Vrek. And, Taffy, I see you've got your little speech bubble up.
Yeah. So while this is all unfolding, he goes back into his cell. He glances at Starkin, narrows his eyes, and then just proceeds to pay him no mind. And then he says, "Gwen, come here."
Yeah, and Gwen will kind of very nervously get up onto his feet, and you see he's kind of glancing over from Starkin to Yulia and back to you, Taffy. But eventually his gaze settles on you.
He side glances him, but Taffy's just gonna leave him in this cell.
Gwen?
No, Sturkin.
Oh, okay.
Not
I
Gwen.
was like, what? Okay.
He's like, so he, beckons him over to the entrance of the cell, but then right before he gets over there, he stops him with his paw, puts a paw on his chest, and he's like, all right, listen. From now on, you will refer to me as Sir, and you are going to be within at least eyesight of me until we get on that boat. You understand me?
Yeah, of course. Sir. Yeah,
Very
of
good.
course.
And remember,
Jesus Christ.
I
We're
love
seeing
this.
Taffy's moral alignment shift
I support it,
in
honestly.
real time.
in real time. Hey, listen, it's this or he dies.
Hey, you
Yeah,
know
true.
what? So true, bestie.
Listen,
So
he's
true.
gonna
This is
work. He's
beautiful.
gonna work this off. He's gonna work his transgressions off.
You
So-
love to see it.
All right. No funny business, and no weapons. If you need help, you will let me know, and I will help you. Do you understand?
yeah, of course, sir. Whatever you say.
All right then. Then he turns to the rest of the party. Gwen here has so graciously volunteered to help fix the problems he has caused to the best of his ability, and his life is very much dependent upon his success, as it were.
Okay.
If he gives any of you any trouble, you let me know, and I'll fix that problem.
I cannot guarantee under any circumstance that Resh will let you know anything.
Ah,
I will, but if he'll just look at Gwen and just say, I'm just going to tell you that if you piss off my brother, he's going to stab you.
Yeah, you shouldn't piss off his brother.
Kid, but
You
I
just-
can make bomb.
you just saw what he did with the guards. Take that into mind.
Yeah, got it.
All
And,
right.
yeah, I guess with that, unless,
1 second.
yeah. I'll say, did you have anything else, Taffy? Okay.
No, that was it.
Before we leave, if it's okay, I'd like Narcillus to step inside of Taffy and Yulia's cell.
Okay, and, you do so as the rest of your party begins kind of, like, congregating in the hallway, and, Yulia and Taffy leave the cell with Gwen, and Sturkin just has been kind of staying in his corner, just staying silent.
Narcillus is going to approach Sturkin. At enough of a distance. And kind of stand in front of him with like his arms at his sides for a minute. And, after a minute, he'll hold out his hand and he'll say, sorry about what happened to your son.
And Sturkin, like, looks up at your hand at first, Narcellus, and then looks up at you. And he doesn't, like, make a move to take it or anything yet, and he'll just say, yeah, it was, my son and my wife were killed in the drought raid on Drake Mound, like, 18 years ago.
Yeah. I can't claim that. I'm afraid I was born 18 years ago. Regardless, sorry they got caught in that.
Yeah. And, he'll kind of look.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like, is Narcellus still, like, holding out his hand?
Yep.
He'll, like, look at your hand again. He'll just say, what are you doing, kid?
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to stay here and get your head cut off?
Man. It's they threw me in here, it started kind of seeming like not so bad an idea.
Look, if you're thinking that you're gonna die and get to see your son or whatever, you're going to the hells. I'm sorry. There's no way around that. So I mean, I'm not gonna trust you, but I'm not gonna tell you to sit in here and rot.
He looks at you for a long moment, kind of like furrowing his brows, looking confused. He'll say, "Why? I mean, I got you and your friends all into this mess."
Yeah, you did, but if you hadn't, they wouldn't be my friends. So, I mean, it's not okay. Like, you're still a shitty person, but like, so am I. So I guess it's okay. It's not okay, but I guess it's fine. And believe it or not, like, not all drow just go around killing other people. Believe it or not, my brother actually does other things than kill people. And it's great time.
He looks a little weirdly at you at that, but he just kind of shakes his head after a moment and says, I mean, I don't even know what I'm gonna do now.
What do you think your wife or your son would want you to do?
Like sighs, kind of thinks about it for a moment.
Pretty sure they wouldn't want you to go poisoning the queen. Not that you did that!
And you can almost kind of feel Faldman's eyes on you for a moment.
Yeah, that's right.
And Sturkin will just say, no, they wouldn't. I don't know. I mean, I can't go back to Drake Mound at this point.
Well, we're getting on a boat, so if you promise not to stab everyone, or, under this threat of getting decapitated yourself, and he'll turn toward the party like, I know everyone hates this guy, but, like, I kind of feel bad leaving someone to die to Duke Gabroth.
Yulia will actually be the first to kind of step in and say, it's his choice. If he wants to stay here, then I don't think we can stop him, but if he wants a second chance, then I don't see why he can't come with us.
We'll see if we have room on the boat.
We'll make room, Freck. We might have to lose a little goblin.
Hey.
It's fine, you can sit on my shoulders.
Taffy looks between Sturkin and looks at Narcellis. Oh, sorry. Did you say something, Brett?
Nope.
I don't want to interrupt anybody.
Oh no. Oh no. I was just having a moment in my head where that one TikTok sound that goes, "You're very brave, kid." Thank you, Barbie. Like, that's Breck right now. He's like, thank you. I get to be tall.
I get to be tall. So Taffy looks at Sturkin, then he looks at Narcellis. He gives a little huff. And he's like, "You sure? Really?"
I can't really say that I blame the guy for being as pissed off as he was. Yeah, I'm sure. And besides, he still has to tell us about his toy factory.
Durkin just looks very confused at that. What?
Yeah, your toy factory. See, we went into your house, and we found like this toy, this axe, and I was like, okay, so in the basement, there's got to be this toy factory. And that's when we were like, this is what's going on. You're trying to kill the queen because she's putting taxes on toys.
Perfect.
Starkin just stares at you, just speechless. And he just shakes his head and says, I think that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Sounds like a toy maker would say. Sounds exactly what like a toy maker would say when he didn't want anybody to know he was making them under other people's noses. Anyway, listen, Tef. You trusted me and Resh when, I mean, we haven't exactly been the best people. And, you know, Gwen isn't exactly the most stand-up guy, so, tell you what. If Sturkin betrays us, I will let Resh do things to him.
So normally Taffy, so far on this whole journey, he's always like when jovialness happened, he typically would engage, right? Or This time he does not. However, he just kind of stares at Gwen, or not Gwen, the other one, Sturkin.
Sturkin.
Yeah, there we go. And but he doesn't object. He just sort of says, all right, fair enough.
All right. And I do want him to say something to Yulia before they leave.
Okay.
He's gonna step up to you, Yulia, and reaching up, put one hand on your shoulder and kind of lean in where only you and probably Taffy, since you're so close, can hear him talk. And he's just going to say, our guild may not have a name yet, but I'm just going to say that if you ever torture someone like that, especially in front of Ari again, you're out.
Julius is kind of speechless for a moment. But the only thing that she can really get out, and it's kind of broken, and it sounds really remorseful and a little frightened, but not like at what he said, but like something deeper. She just says, I swear, I didn't mean to do that.
Well, you did, and we don't do that here. So, not that we can help it anyway. All right, well, as long as that's understood, and we're all in agreement that everyone's coming on a boat ride. Henry, if you could escort us out, please.
Yes. Yeah, of course. And Henry will begin leading the way down the row of cells. And I'd like everyone to roll a perception check for me.
Oh no!
No.
My
Oh,
favorite.
baby.
This is scary.
Ooh, 16.
Ooh.
Okay, Fred. Okay.
Michelle's can't see, apparently. He has no eyes.
Neither does
And
Yulia.
neither does Yulia.
So, you begin walking down the hallway that's, very dark, it's damp, a little humid down here as well, with this just odd, sour odor in the air that's been lingering ever since you all got down here. And as Henry leads the way, you walk past a few other cells, and Narcellus and Yulia, neither of you really notice, as you're kind of more focused on where you're going and thinking more about how you're going to get out of here. Taffy and Vrek, you note that, some of the cells you pass that might be holding some other prisoners, you note that there seem to be quite a number of Valgard militia being held down here. No one that you recognize, but a lot of them that kind of look up very confusingly as you all walk by, especially looking at the cloaked and masked Faldvin walking with you. But no one says anything as you'll continue down the hallway. And Henry will, using the keys, unlocks a door and takes you into really what can best be described in some cases as a murder staircase. It's incredibly narrow to the point where only one person can go up or down it at a time. The steps are very steep and fairly worn here from years and years of use. And as Henry takes the lead, he'll kind of talk over his shoulder and say, "So, this way will get you out of the back entrance of the prison. Don't really know about your stuff though. I mean, I can still go back for it if you'd like."
I would really like our stuff. I want our stuff so much. In fact,
Okay.
there's a whip that I really need.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff. So if you could just go get that, that would be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. I'll make sure y'all get out, and then I'll go get your stuff for you. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And yeah, sure enough, Henry will lead you all up this staircase, which kind of winds a little to the left, to the right. And as he opens the door at the very top of it, excuse me.
Bless you.
Thanks. He opens the door at the top of it, and you are greeted by the suddenly, almost blinding light of midday compared to the darkness of the cell that you had been inside of.
My eyes.
Yeah, basically.
Father above, below.
And
I need to make something called sunglasses in the future.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Sorry, give me 1 second. I was trying to find something here.
We'll call the brand
Here
Freck
it is.
Couture. Sell millions.
And so you come out, greeted to the site before you is mostly open, grassy areas, very well trimmed and well kept, with some sparse trees here and there. And you can see past the trees a large stone wall that you all know is the barrier for the nobles' quarter. And as you all kind of gather here outside of the door, Henry vanishes back inside, presumably to go and fetch all of your things. And as you all stand there to await him to come back, Faldvin will kind of to you all and he'll say, well, now that we're out of there, our best bet out of the city is probably going to be taking the northern entrance out of the nobles' quarter towards the Green Ridge. It's the closest way out.
Fulton.
Yes.
Fulton. And he'll reach out a hand as though he's trying to find where the source of the voice is coming from, and just sort of like pat the air.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, Narcellis probably can't see very
He
well. He
cannot see a damn thing.
Oh.
And you reach out and eventually kind of feel your hand brush some cloth and pat the shoulder, and it seems like Faldvin. It's tall enough.
Oh boy. And it reaches up. He reaches up and he just like places his hand on the side of his face, not necessarily even his cheek. His fingers are just kind of splayed over the cheek, and he just goes, "We were supposed to be getting on a boat."
Well, he kind of thinks about it for a moment. I mean, we can loop back around outside the city. I mean, it'll be quite a ways out of our way.
You
But
want to use the door behind your house, don't you?
yeah, unless you want to try and sneak through the rest of the nobles' quarter and then through all of the city.
Oh, I think that sounds like fun.
So much.
This is your face, right?
Yes, it's mine.
Oh, okay.
And another problem with that is like we have to find my companion.
Unfortunately, Faldin does have a point. It would be easier for us to come back in through the city than going through the nobles' quarter with 2 drow, a tiefling, a tabaxi, 2 criminals, a goblin, and Mr. Majesty, Excellency, General Faldin.
Alvin sighs.
And he'll just say, not only that, but the nobles' quarter is likely abuzz with activity between Gabroth preparing for his coronation and preparing to probably welcome the many guests that will be coming from across all Leadovol for his
Did you
ceremony.
just say a buzz?
Yes, apparently, he sure did.
God, you're old. Alright, so the Green Ridge, I'm assuming that these are not little ridges in the ground. I'm assuming you mean the hills.
Yes, but we wouldn't actually be going out into them. We can make our way through the woods and circle back towards the docks.
Oh God, you're making me go back to the woods.
It's just like it's not dark wood. It's
Excuse you.
What?
Can we just go? I can't handle. I can't handle this right now. I'd like to just go. Taffy, maybe you can lead us through the nobles' quarter. I need someone to hold my hand. I can't see.
Don't worry, I got you, buddy. Tappy will kind of hold Narcellus's hand to kind of,
If I run into any buildings, I will be very disappointed.
Well, Tappy will run into them first, so we'll both be disappointed together.
Yeah, be sure you hit all the stalls on the way there. Give them a real adventure.
Just walk in circles a couple times.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I moved.
Oh, sorry. I was just messing with something
He's
there.
shifting.
We should also wait for our stuff to come back.
Sorry, I might have done that on accident, Taffy. Sorry, World 20's being weird.
I was like, oh no, I didn't know.
No, it's okay. Did you, I'll say then, did you have something you wanted to say or do?
I'm going to wait until I have a moment away from sort of the rest of the party with Faldvin. I have some questions I want you to ask him.
Ooh.
If the rest of the party
Okay.
is distracted while we're waiting, then Taffy might push him sort of aside.
Sure. Let me see. Hold on
Actually,
one second.
I was gonna say, if you want privacy, Yulia,
Oh, hi.
I believe you were asked by a certain dead person to give Narcellus some things.
Oh, I almost forgot about that.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Oh,
Also, can I go ahead and do that?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll say Yulia, you approach Narcellus, and Taffy, you kind of take the moment to pull Faldvin aside. But I'll go ahead and start with Yulia then. So what's Yulia doing?
Okay, so we'll just say you just kind of remembered, oh yeah, the petals. So she kind of digs them out of the pouch where she would make sure they didn't get crushed by anything she had, and she'll kind of sit him in one hand and like put another hand over it, just like almost like to keep the wind from accidentally taking these petals away. And she'll walk up to Narcellus and say, before Yavari, before she died, she gave me these, and she'll kind of reach these pairs of hands like over to him, waiting for him to like receive it, basically.
He does not see what you're doing.
Right, I almost forgot. Okay, so then she'll say, would you mind holding out your hand for me?
That depends what's being put in it.
She gave me petals to give to you.
You can see visible confusion on his face, but he holds out his hand regardless.
Yubari also says that she's sorry.
I remember that part.
Okay.
She'll make contact with him. So she'll kind of put the one hand that was covering under his, and then gently like tilt the petals into it, and then cover his fingers over it so that he has it. And she'll say, she also wanted to say, or tell me to tell you that she was sorry.
So she's sorry, and she's giving me flower petals?
There's a moon petals, no shower.
He can't see it!
Why does he have to be a blind bitch?
Oh my god.
Listen, he's doing his best up here.
Where these petals are what do these petals look like again?
They're a sort of if I remember correctly, they're like a silvery white color, kind of almost shaped like a crescent moon. As like they just have kind of that natural curl to them.
Okay, so then she'll say, I've never seen petals quite like that. You don't really see them. Well, I mean, there's white flowers, but you don't quite see any of them almost perfectly moon-shaped.
Oh, they're moonflower petals.
Oh, so you know what they are?
Yeah, they're flowers that if you use the petals in spells or potions, they let you contact members of the dead.
How did she get these?
I don't want to talk about it right now. If we could just hold this off until later.
Yeah, sure, of course.
And he will very carefully try to put them in his pocket.
Yeah, and you do so. You pocket the flower petals. Excuse me.
I love that Aoife just ran off with theirs.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Yeah, she sure did.
And
Well,
Just a side quest
no,
to get him.
it's good.
So Yulia does know that Narcellus can't see her, but she's kind of quiet for a moment, and she says, I am also so sorry for the dungeon. I don't even know what happened, honestly.
Well, I am not going to tell you that it's okay. But I will tell you that you need to apologize to Renarian.
I will.
Ari was a victim during the Dark War of my sister. And while he does not talk about it, and you should not ever let him know that I told you, he told me that he was tortured.
Oh. Okay. I'll talk to him.
Where's the goblin?
The goblin is looking at shiny things in the noble district.
Oh no.
Just peeking over the corner like,
Yeah. Frank is minding his own business, but also very much not minding his own business at like the shiny things that are out and about.
Actually, Vrek, roll a perception check for me.
Oh no.
Uh, I don't even look. Okay.
Yeah, you're just like kind of peeking around one of the walls, peering, more into the nobles district proper, and you're just curious about what's here in the supposedly wealthy part of the city, and you see way down a ways down the road that leads up to the castle, you see that there's this giant dragon statue made of this glistening red rock that kind of towers over anything else in the area, even any of the large manors and estates that make up this area of the city. And you see a lot of people are kind of gathered around it or walking around it. And it appears that there's a couple of workers setting up some wooden stands at the base of it at the moment.
Frank wants to wander off, but also he doesn't want to get separated from the group. So he's gonna kind of just turn around and look at Fulton. Be like, "Hey, Fulton, why are people gathered around that statue? Is it something important?"
Oh wait,
The-
I thought Falden was with Taffy.
Oh wait,
yeah,
right,
that's
though.
he's
right.
Yeah.
he's being
So,
He yeeted himself out of the distance.
it's fine. But
Cool.
so while Yulia is passing on these petals to Narshalis, Taffy, you pull Faldman aside, and I'll say, what do you do or say to him?
okay. So he looks
Oh.
over his shoulder and he sees the whole moment going on there, and he's like, all right, now's a good time. He turns back to Falvin and he starts by saying, all right, look, I need to get some clarification. All right, you killed the queen, right?
And you kind of see his shoulders like lower a little bit as he's currently wearing the mask that Narshalis had given to him. He says, yes, I did.
Okay, then I need you to give me an answer. Were you coerced? I need to know why you did it. Were you forced? And don't give me any of this, I did it because I had my reasons. I need to know. You need to tell me.
And he pauses, kind of thinking over his answer. And he finally will say, I'll try to keep it brief. I guess it started with, you probably weren't very aware of it, but Minister Yakan used to make, frequent trips to my estate. I considered the man an acquaintance. He was fine enough. But, after a while, and I'm only realizing this now in hindsight, that he was trying to feed into a lot of my paranoia from the war. And after meeting you, Narshalis, and everyone else, I couldn't help but get worried, I guess, that something was going on, that the Underdark was planning this attack. So I went to Queen Mjarnin, And I raised my concerns with her that, something may be going on. And she told me... She told me that to sate my bloodlust, as she so put it, that we can start by ridding Valgard of all of the drow within the fishing district, and that I should start with the... I'm paraphrasing, but something along the lines of starting with the shadow that's been lurking within my estate.
So she insulted you and you flew off the handle.
She threatened Narcellus, and I flew off the handle. Yes.
So he slowly took this all in, but he's kind of got a little scowl on his face. And he continues on. Yeah, well, you created an orphan in the whole process. So let me be very crystal clear here. I'm helping you because I'm helping Narcellus. That wasn't the answer I was hoping for, but it's the one I'm going to get. So here's how we're going to deal with this. We're going to be amicable, all right? We're going to be co-workers. And the only reason we are is because I'm friends with Narcellus, and I would like to see, help out Narcellus. And as long as I'm helping out Narcellus, I'm helping out you. Now, if this ever changes for whatever reason, let's say you need, Narcellus no longer wishes to help you out, then we stop being coworkers. And when we stop being coworkers, we're going to have a problem. All right, you understand?
And Baldwin just nods his head and says, very well. I have no intention of trying to harm you all further.
Well, that's good. I hope you keep it that way. Something else, you're going to need to make it up to the Queen's daughter. Do you understand me? Now, I don't know how you're going to go about doing that, but you're a smart man. I'm sure you'll figure it out. As he kind of awkwardly pats his shoulder, and then he just sort of turns around and...
Faldwin will immediately grab your wrist.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
And he will say, do not question how I feel, Taffy.
Fine. Then just make sure you don't become a problem for the rest of us in the future.
And Narcellus is going to move forward. He's picking out the sound. Maybe not standing in exactly the right spot, but kind of looking at both of you. And he will say, is there a problem, Taffy?
And as Narcellus speaks up, Faldwin will release Taffy's wrist.
Taffy sort of straightens himself up. No. No problems. As he says no problems as he's sort of like looking at Faldwin.
Baldwin's green eyes are just staring at you from behind the mask that he's wearing. And Narcellus, you can about taste the tension in the air between these two.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Taffy, I don't know what has suddenly crawled between you and the general, but maybe we can take a break here?
Taffy takes a deep breath and spins around. It's like, we've been cooped up down there, we gotta chill out a little bit.
Okay.
And it just kind of distances himself from Faldwin.
And eventually, as things begin to settle down, Henry re-arrives, bringing you all of your gear that had been stowed away. Struggling as you realize he's been taking so long, as you see him come through the door, dragging behind him like a chest full of all of your shit.
This man.
So dumb.
Dang.
Maybe one of us should have gone with him.
And Henry's like, no, it's fine. It wasn't a problem, really. Because this should be all of your things, and, yeah, he'll kind of look expectantly at Narcellus.
Right. Thank you. You did a great job. I'm moving out one more thing I need you to do.
Yeah, sure, just, name it.
Yeah, I need you to go back into the dungeon. You're going to go inside of the cell that we were in, and you're going to close the door without the keys. And then you're going to spend the next 30 minutes staring at the wall.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
here's a suggestion. What if we release the militia?
What, there were militia down there?
Oh yeah, there was a bunch of other people locked up in cells as we were leaving.
Baldwin's
little
eyes
strange to see.
immediately... Oh, sorry,
Oh,
go ahead,
sorry.
Rick.
Oh, yeah, it was a little strange to see all of the guards locked up down there.
Baldwin's eyes immediately light up as he says, well, after I got thrown in there, supposedly a lot of the military rioted against Gabroth. Actually, and he'll, like, turn and look at Narcellus. I believe Sypha's down there somewhere.
Nope.
Narcellus?
Nah.
Narcellus. I know you never got along. Okay, she was... rude would be an understatement.
Okay, tell you what. You take Sypha to one edge of the courtyard, and I'll take Resh to the other side. And then we count to 3, and we let them go.
No. Look, you don't have to interact with her, but at least letting them out, they could help in some way, I'm sure.
Listen, as much fun as it sounds to have an entire army to just start ransacking the city, I don't like her.
Neither do I most days.
She's mean.
Fine. Just
No. Can we let everybody but her out?
Baldwin just sighs, like... I mean, that might be a little odd, but...
I know. He'll turn, like, kicking his feet on the ground a little bit. Just turns toward Henry, and he's like, can you go let all the military guys out?
Yeah, of course. And then, should I go lock myself in the cell still afterwards and look at the wall?
Yeah.
Alright. Sounds good. And he'll just vanish back
There
inside.
you go, Henry.
Thank you.
The lad.
Thank you for your service.
The legend.
Thank you, Henry.
Narcellus will just kind of look up at Resh in his general direction. Oh god, where is Resh?
Who are you looking for?
My brother. Please tell me he didn't wander off. He can't see either.
Oh, and she'll.
Resh?
Can I just touch your shoulders?
Me?
Yeah. Yes. I can turn you in his direction.
And you'll hear Resh speak up like, yes, I am still here.
Oh, okay, good.
They're both pointed away from each other, talking to each other.
Yeah, probably, yes.
You sound far away.
You sound far away.
I'm right here.
Where is he?
Taffy, can you escort Resh and I'll escort Narcellus, and we'll meet in the middle.
On it. And he kind of scoots his way over to Resh. Though he's a little nervous around Resh.
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
should be.
you know, he's like, he goes to like sort of take his hand, but he hesitates. He's like, you know, he doesn't really. He just kind of taps him on the shoulder. A little to your left, buddy.
And yeah, you two guide the two drow around so they at least can face each other. They're relatively closer than they were.
Okay. So Saifa is this lady. I think she's a high elf. I don't remember. She's an elf, and she
You
has.
hear Faldwin just say, "Wood elf."
She's
Doesn't
not
matter.
made of wood like you.
She's not.
I'm not made. Why? I am not made of wood.
So you say. Anyway.
Ugh.
So, she is this elf lady who has had it out for me since day one, and I'm pretty sure also had it out for Taffy. But listen, so she's gonna love you, like, so much.
Oh, who's he saying that to?
Talking
To Resh?
Yeah.
Oh. And Resh just gives kind of a small shrug, even though you can't see it, and he'll
Nope.
say, fine, if she causes any problems, I'll deal with her.
You won't be able to find her.
I can manage.
Oh, okay. And hey, Vrick,
Yeah, what you need?
can you come here for a minute? I can't see you, but I need your help.
Okay. And it just kind of waddles on over. What the?
Nurse Ellis is going to pick Vrick up under his arms,
Oh my god.
kind of grapple for him and find him, and then lift him up to sit him on his shoulders, and say, "You're gonna tell me where to go."
Oh. All right. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you for your trust. I guess. Let's go.
Better a goblin than an elf.
You're not wrong.
Wow.
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 Can't wait for
And,
Henry to just give us a whole military.
Oh,
But
poor Arby.
for right now, while Henry has left you all, you're now going to have to try and find your way out of the nobles' quarter and either down to the docks or perhaps somewhere in the city to find the rest of your party plus Vreck's companion that he has spoken of. And as you all begin to perhaps discuss amidst yourselves to figure out your next course of action, that is going to be where we have to call it for the night.